right, Patriots, we got a good setup here. Today is January 21st. It's a Sunday. It's day 1110 of the never-ending nightmare. Welcome, Patriots. Dachshund Grandma, Pathfinder Patriot. Dead by. I got it today. Beverly Esselson, hello, howdy, howdy. Carol Burton, how you doing? Everybody having a nice Sunday today? I hope so. We got some J6 news updates, chat. Let's get it going on. Last night at Freedom Corner was Vigil number 537. And it was another snowy one there, but not the snowiest one ever. I'm up on this rooftop, man. We were up here the other day. Just wanted to get up here before the sun went down and take a look around. We got so many cool like church steeples and stuff around here. Got this one. I'm pretty sure they got like the four apostles up there, those statues. I remember reading about it somewhere, but I can't remember. Hi Ferg, hi June Dalton, hi Annette Park, Karen Saab, how you doing? So last night at Freedom Corner, we'll get right down to it. I'll just swing the camera around a little bit. Really, Carrie, you saw me live and YouTube wouldn't bring it up. That rascally YouTube. There's a cool shot. We got the moon in there. Yeah, I don't know what the secret is to getting the notifications or turning it on. I did do a fake start today. Maybe that had something to do with it, Carrie. I had it all ready to go, and then the screen froze or something. I had to start it all over again. All right, Kara Watzig. I didn't hear that about Sherry yet. We'll see what happens on Freedom Corner tonight. I'm sure I'll get the scoop there. Yes, fantastic video from Ann Lake today. They went to visit the, let's see, Ann Lake. They visited the Watkins Logan, Texas State Veterans Home in Tyler, Texas, man. And that was, man, that was heartwarming, wasn't it? All these vets that are, some of them were bedridden, but they have a nice place to live there, you know? And it seemed like the people that worked there were really nice. It was just awesome, I thought. Hilda, you got to notice. That's the way it seems to go sometimes. Some people get the notice, some people don't. I don't know. This is the parking garage in Lancaster City, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Hi, Lee Bart. Yeah, there weren't any dry eyes, was there? They were passing out Kleenex in the chat and stuff. It was really cool to see that, and seeing our awesome Patriots that we've met here and there throughout the last 2 years working for freedom. So yeah, that was really great, Ann Lake. Congratulations for another great stream. Had the mods keeping things under control in there, clean house. That was really great. All right, I want to get one last shot over here. Got a steeple sticking up on the horizon out there. Just like that shot right there. Yeah, I was really impressed with that veterans home, and it was really cool that the Patriots decided to go there. It was a very, very good, wonderful thing to do for those guys, for those veterans. So Freedom Corner last night, they stayed up at the top of the hill on the corner by the street because the snow was hasn't been shoveled out yet down there. And it was cold. It was a cold one there last night. Snowy and cold. It might have been the coldest Freedom Corner vigil ever. I don't know. Whoa, Tina McCloy, how you doing? You got a message, your pastor got a letter that YouTube was taking a message down for spreading misinformation. Ooh, the YouTube police cracking down. All right, I gotta get I keep forgetting to plug my battery in here. I gotta get this plugged in real quick. So YouTube censorship hitting the churches. That's because they're keeping such a close eye on them churches right now. That's all the enemies of FJB in all the churches. Yeah, Karen Saab, I heard DeSantis ends his 2024 presidential campaign. And I heard he endorsed Trump, which is good. That's what he should do. I got another church steeple over there. A message from 2020. Well, that's weird. That's weird, Tina. That is truly bizarre. All right. So I thought y'all might want to get outside a little bit here. Let's see. All right. All right. Hey, Jane Febo, cooking dinner. Right on. We'll get through this and then get some dinner in our bellies before the vigil starts tonight. So yeah, they were all up at the top. It was freezing cold up there. And it's good to see the Patriots there though, man. Wow, 537 nights in a row at Freedom Corner, fighting for freedom, fighting for the J6ers, fighting for their families. We're not gonna stop. Not gonna stop till it's over, man. Taylor John Atakis got our first call in last night, and he was talking how they're just treated like animals in there. You treat your animals better than you get treated in that prison there. And the food is it's animal food. It's horrible. And he read another essay that he wrote, and this essay was called "Your Flag is Upside Down." And it was a story about how while he was in the prison there, he noticed that some of the people that work there, they got the Velcro flag that sticks to their uniforms, and how the one dude had his flag on upside down and really didn't even know it because he was not from this country, you know. He was a foreigner. And he just didn't even know it was upside down. But he had seen so many other people posting their flag upside down because that's a signal of distress, and he just thought that's the way you did it. But it was a really cool essay, man. Taylor is using his time wisely, I would say in there. You'll never regret writing something down, writing a piece of your mind down about a section or an event that happens in your life. And Taylor's doing that, and it's really cool hearing him. He also talked about the book Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand again, and I'm thinking of picking that book up. It's the second time that he mentioned it. And I remember reading it 30 or 40 years ago and really liking it. And liking Ayn Rand in general. She was writing about, you know, government philosophy and stuff like that, the future, communism taking over and stuff like that. So that was Taylor John Atakis' phone call. Taylor has a website called John Atakis Family Health. If you care to go look into that, I'm sure he would appreciate it. And I think his GIVENCE is affiliated with that site also. The next phone call we got was David Dempsey, and he was talking about, I didn't quite catch what he was talking about. Some dude named Greg Lewis murdered somebody. Man, I can't, it was a football player, and I didn't get the whole story on that one. Sorry I even brought it up. Or Atlas Shrugged is a long read. Yeah, it's a long read. Have you read it there, Small Water Guy? Just wondering. Read it lately. It wasn't like required reading, but a lot of us were reading that book in high school. And then David Dempsey was also talking about Nikki Haley being funded by the Democrats. I mean, when have you seen such wackiness going on in our country? The Democrats are putting their money where their mouth is with Nikki Haley. They just do not want Trump to win, man. They are just squirming, and it's going to be really cool when he wins. But we got to secure that election. Number one problem in our country. Capitalism good, communism bad. All right, that's a good synopsis. I like nutshell versions, man. And yeah, you're right. I didn't know you could read. That's true. Next phone call came in from Curtis Tate, and he was talking about, man, I got this toilet that's not working in here. I filed the paperwork. I filed the grievance. They're not fixing this toilet. It's been 4 days. How hard can it be? And he's going on. And then he's talking about, there's 27 guys in here. There's 45 cells. And they give me the one with the toilet that doesn't work. And by midway through the phone call, a guard comes by and says, here, we're going to move you into this. We were all getting fired up like, ooh, we're going to do a call to action about Curtis's toilet tomorrow or Monday. And before the phone call ended, he was getting moved. He was actually talking to us while they were moving him to a cell with a toilet in it that worked. So that was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. We're the administration there. We're making an impact at that place, man. And other inmates are seeing what happens when you unite together and file the grievances, do the paperwork, even though you think it's not helping anything. Eventually, it adds up to you get some kind of movement out of the administration there. So if you just sit down and don't say anything about anything, nothing happens. But when you start making some noise and you get some people behind you, you can make things happen. And I just think that's an uplifting story, and I hope the other inmates are seeing that, because all our prison systems are horrible and need a lot of work, and J6 has brought that attention to the forefront. Okay, and then Curtis Tate, man, he laid this story on us, man. I did not know this about Curtis, but he said 1 year ago today, he was sitting in an ER with a gunshot wound to the chest. And I'm thinking, wow, that's horrible, man. Who shot him? And here it turns out that he wanted to end his own life, and he shot himself in the chest. And that's heavy duty, He was in the ER. Luckily, he survived. And luckily, his life, his outlook has totally turned around, man. He wants to live now. He wants to, he doesn't know why, but God gave him a will to live now. He's been in jail since then, practically. And somehow God took him and turned his attitude around. He sees a point to life. He knows that wasn't right to try to kill himself. And it was just a great story, man. And I'm thinking, these J6ers are future leaders because of the road that they all had to go down. And it's just, it was an amazing story, man. We were passing out Kleenex in the chat last night, too, listening to that story. And that was really something, man. And then while we were in the chat on Sapphire Patriot's channel, we got this German guy. He's from Germany. He turned me on to that Ignaz Berth YouTube channel that I've been watching live streaming over there in Germany, and he was in chatting with us last night. It's just so cool having people from all around the world in this chat, and knowing that our message is going all the way around the world. You know, we've had people from South Africa in there, Ireland, England, Germany, and it's just really cool to see that this YouTube thing can go all the way around the world, that everybody can see it. Jeff Sable called in then at the end of the night, and Daniel Ball was chatting with him there. We did a great national anthem, and it sounded awesome, man. I don't know if these guys are just especially good singers or what, but they sound great when they are singing the national anthem in there. It's amazing. Daniel Ball and Jeff were talking about this cop, David Lazarus, lied under oath to the J6 sham committee. It's been proven. Nobody's getting subpoenaed yet or anything. There's another officer, Dunn. Like, Lazarus was called in to back up Dunn's testimony. Lazarus backed up his testimony. There's no way that Lazarus could have known that, because he was not where he said he was when he was backing up this testimony. Total lies coming out of the witness stand in a courtroom down there with no repercussions because they got a badge. Basically, another proven lie. And then they went over their little news briefs at the end of the night. There was this Canadian climate activist who was, saying, "Oh, global warming. This was last summer. Remember when those Canadian wildfires? All of a sudden, a whole bunch of fires started up. And at the time, I saw satellite footage of multiple fires starting up in a region up in Canada there. And here it turns out this climate activist went around and started 14 fires up in the woods up in Canada to try to make a lot of smoke, to cause climate change, to cause alarmism that the planet will cease to exist because we're not paying carbon taxes to our government, basically. So that was a nice little justice is served moment there. Canadian climate activists started 14 forest fires up in Canada. I hope they put him in jail for a good long time. That's a little more than breaking a window, so I think he should get a couple of years. But we're dealing with Canada. Who knows what's going to happen up there, right? Then they were talking about Fannie Willis and this Nathan Wade guy, how she could just, if she's got the hots for somebody, she'll just throw a bunch of money at him. He'll take her on cruises, and he'll, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Jericho. It's cold, man. I'm toughing it out here. Yeah, and then there's that Fanone, Michael Fanone, too. What a liar. These guys lied, and when they were testifying, we knew they were lying. We'd see it on the videos. What's taking the rest of the country so long to catch on to this stuff, man? So, yeah, we got Fannie Willis going through all that. Nobody's getting in trouble. Then, while we're at it, in Georgia, where Fannie Willis is prosecuting Trump for trying to cause an insurrection because he saw a cheated election, the Fulton County admitted that they never scanned the envelopes from their mail-in ballots, man. They just opened the envelopes, threw the ballot in one box and the envelope in another, and they never checked the signatures on the envelopes. So, yeah, this was the most secure election in history, right, FJB? Well, usually you would check the signatures to make sure it's a valid ballot that's cast in that envelope. But now, once you separate the ballot from the envelope, there's no course of action even if you do find it's not a valid voter that sent that in. So that's That probably happened when the water line broke and they put all the observers out of the room. Total cheats. They can't win unless they cheat. And then Jeff Sable was talking about the, somebody check this website out, Tactical Civics. I keep trying to get to this, but I never get to it every day. Jeff Sable's been saying that he really hasn't checked into it yet either. So this is like the 4th or 5th time he's mentioned tacticalcivics.com. I think it's some type of an activism and how to get into your local government and have a larger impact on it than just being a voter, you know. So that's it for Freedom Corner, man. Way to go, Patriots. They stayed warm. Nobody froze. There weren't, you know, no, it looked, they made it happen. Sherry, man, you could barely see her. She was all bundled up in a blanket and stuff and taking the phone calls. It took like 2 minutes to get all the mittens on so she could hold the phone the right way and stuff, but it was pretty cool, man. Those Patriots at Freedom Corner are really earning some big time respect right now, man. So I'd like to just go over, in case you're new to all this, we got live streamers at Freedom Corner. I was listening to Cash Kelly today. I want to go over a little bit of that show today. It was really good. But it appeared that some people in the chat there don't know that Freedom Corner is still going on and that it goes there. It's there every night. We've been there 537 nights in a row, or they've been there. So I just want to go over the YouTube channels that are there right now. Mickey and Tammy have been running a channel called 4 Ashley Jan 6 Vigil DC. That's on YouTube. We also have 1791 Stormtrooper. We got Sapphire Patriot. We got We the People MAGA. That's all one word. We the People MAGA. And we got Dev for Freedom, all live streaming from the Freedom Corner every night, bringing it to the world. I listened to Cash Kelly's latest broadcast, and Cash Kelly was a J6er. He was in the DC Gulag for a while, making phone calls out to Freedom Corner. He was one of our favorites because he's just a very social guy, you know, and he has a really strong faith. He likes talking about it. And all right, Carol Burton with the links. Way to go, Carol. We're learning, aren't we, Carol? I'm just figuring out how to do links there too. So that's Sapphire Patriot's channel. I'm a mod on her channel for right now, and she just kind of new at live streaming. Started about a month ago down, or maybe a month and a half ago. Doing a really good job there, Sherry. Really good. And you too, Carol Burton, with the links, man. All right, here we got Dev for Freedom's link. Whoop. Okay, and hey, Sunkist, I see you in there too. Get with a link. Yeah, Cash Kelly, Tina McCloy. Cash Kelly was in Lewisburg for a while too. Cash Kelly has just been released from prison. He is currently in a halfway house until sometime in early November or February, and after that he'll be able to go home to be with his kids. Cash Kelly's channel is called Cash Kelly the Streetlight, and that's on YouTube, and he does a show with these two other guys, and this is something apparently he was doing before J6 even happened, and it appears one of the other guys on his show went to J6 also, but didn't get into any trouble. There, you see that link there, Tina? Right there. It's on the screen for the people who don't have the live chat going, but if you're in live chat, click on Cash Kelly the Streetlight, and it'll take you right there. Subscribe, and then come right back, Tina. All right? But his latest edition was called What the Heck Happened to Cash Part 3, And it was really good. The whole show, it's an hour long, was Cash talking about his experiences in prisons and jails all over the place since his January 6th charges were brought up. And wow, is there a lot of wild stories there. And it's definitely worth listening to. You get to know Cash Kelly a lot better. The dude's amazing. He's amazing, just as any other brother in Christ is, you know. And all the trials and tribulations that he has gone through, that God has brought him through, and unscathed and powered up, you know. I'm sure it wasn't easy though, but I'm sure it wasn't easy. But he's through it now. It's past, and he's looking forward. And that's an amazing testimony in itself right there. Primetime Patriots. Okay, is that what it was? So sometimes I watched that show a couple times, and I don't know, sometimes they're just talking about normal stuff. Like on Martin Luther King Day, they were all just talking about that. They weren't, and I thought it was just Cash Kelly's show. I didn't realize this was a show that the three of them did together. But they're talking about current day topics and politics and stuff, so it's a decent show. I'm not sure what the halfway houses are, Tina. Are they BOP or yeah, call into your live stream. Tina, when's the next Lewisburg Vigil? Do you have a date set yet? Have a plan on doing one yet? We'd like to know about that. We'll tune into that. I don't have any way of getting through to Cash, but I could probably get a message to somebody who could get a message to somebody who could get a message to Cash. And somehow or another, we could probably figure that out and have him call in. All right, small water guy. Very funny, very funny. But anyways, Cash Kelly's show, What Happened to Cash, Part 3. The descriptions of the prisons and the DC Gulag were exceptional, man. And all this is still like fresh in his head. He has a very good memory of events that happened and approximate dates. He was in jail for 2 years, and he was saying how the jails are worse than the prisons. Once you get into a BOP prison, there's a little more organization to it, and also the time that you serve in a jail, there is no way to reduce the time. Once you get into BOP, you can serve 85% of your time, and as long as you have no strikes, you get 15% taken off, and then you can have other deductions in the time that you serve once you're in BOP. But none of that applies if you're just in a jail like Northern Neck was. Yeah. Northern Neck is a regional jail. It's not BOP. BOP was subcontracting space out into that jail. But while they were there, they weren't getting that 15% discount for no strikes, no things like that. Amen, Kara. 2 things you are in total control of in life is your attitude and your effort. That is true. I do need help with my attitude, and I pray for help with my attitude all the time and my effort. But that's why we got an awesome God that will give us help. Yeah, there you go, Ferg. Leave a message in the comment section. Somehow or another, though, we got to get Tina's phone number to him if he were to call out like that. Okay, here's Ann Lake. Ann Lake doesn't have a lot of subscribers. She's very new at live streaming. I think that was her, 4th or 5th live stream. But now she's set up with mods, and she had it going on and did a great stream, man. Great camera work and everything there at the Veterans Home in Texas. It was awesome. Back to Cash Kelly. While I was watching that in the chat, I was watching it live, and some of the other J6er relatives were in the chat too, giving a whole nother perspective to it. and just great insights. There was a wife in there, and I think there was like a cousin of one of the guys was in there. Cash Kelly got hoodwinked into taking the COVID shot, man. He was not going to get the shot, and they were telling him that he just wanted to see his family. You know, he wanted to get a visit. They didn't have video visits, and he wanted to just get a visit. And they told him, all right, you can get visits, but you got to take the shot. You got to take the shot. So he took the shot, and he's getting ready for a visit, and the one kid that he had was very young. And they told him, well, no, you can't see your kids. You can see your wife, but you can't see your kids. So they totally tricked him. They lied to him. He ended up getting 2 of the shots, the Moderna shot, he said, and then caught COVID 2 weeks later. No doubt about it. Caught COVID, took the shot, caught COVID right there. Total liars. Total liars. And then at the end of that stream, he had a really cool story about how it got started, that they were singing the national anthem at 9 o'clock every night. There's a really good tale to that. Cash was one of the first ones in there. I think John Mellis was in there. One of the guys I know got beat up because he wouldn't stop singing the national anthem. He said that they were all on lockdown. You know, they couldn't come out of their cells for a long time, and they were singing them, standing inside their cells, singing it together before they could all come out and into the common area there and sing it. So really good insight, an hour worth of just getting to know Cash Kelly and getting a little bit of the history and the experience of what it was like to be a J6er in jail. Okay, and then while I was on the chat last night, I know Angelina tries to keep up on that the roll call list, okay? And she's kind of up on whose birthdays are coming up. She'll put links in there so we can get a card in the mail before their birthday comes up and stuff. And Angelina put out a call that she does not know the whereabouts of Israel as Easter Day and Eric Warner. Eric Warner. They have no addresses or on the Patriot Mail Project, the information is not complete for those 2 guys. So if anybody has any information on that, if you can, throw it in the chat and I'll get that message to Angelina. Or just come on the Sapphire Patriot stream tonight, and Angelina's a mod on that channel as well. You'd be able to share it with her there. Okay, what else we got here? Got a little bit of news today. Our wonderful Congress, our 535 members of Congress, have extended the deadline for the budget. I think it's called a continuing resolution. 107 House members and 26 Republican Senate members voted with the Democrats to extend the deadline to March 1st. Now, we are in the middle of a crisis on our southern border. And for some reason, Democrats don't want to admit that that's actually happening. It's a national security risk that this is going on down there. And we were hoping our Republican guys were going to hold the line and say, look, we ain't passing a budget till you guys agree with us to do something on this border problem that we're having. But 107 of them caved in the House and 26 of them caved in the Senate. So that means a couple of them stood their ground and said, we're not voting for this continuing resolution. But it's a game there, you know, it's a majority. It's pretty much a democracy inside the Congress, you know. I mean, a majority wins. That's it. That's a democracy. There are elected officials, and that makes us a constitutional republic. But once they're in Congress, it's a democracy in there, right? Technically. So we're having trouble with our Republicans still, continuing on. All they do, talk, talk, talk. Nothing ever gets done. Okay, and then I went over to this Ignaz Beerth YouTube channel showing what's going on in Germany. Germany, the people are rising up there continuously. This has been about a week now, man. The farmers are just on the streets with their tractors. They want the end of the Communist Party. It's not a communist party, but it's basically like their Democrat Party in Germany is telling them that they got to follow the WHO and the UN and tax themselves for climate change and all this stuff. And they're rising up. And this Ignaz Beerth channel is there, and I'm in there, and I'm in the chat, and everybody's speaking German. I have no idea what they're saying in there. So I'm trying to do like, emojis, try to communicate with them or something. And then some guy dropped a line in there about a translation app that you can get. So I found this translation app called DeepL, DEEP, capital L. It was an app that I got, and all of a sudden I could chat in German on a German live stream. I mean, that just blew me away this morning, man. I'm talking to German people in their language on their chats. And it's a bit of an ordeal, I got to type my message in on the app, then copy it, and then paste it into the chat. But and I'm still trying to figure out what they're saying, because I don't know how to copy a piece of chat in a chat room and get it into the DeepL app. But I mean, man, I'm just getting blown away with all the technology that we got. That was just a trip. Wanted to share that with you. We are worldwide patriots. The world is getting smaller. And then, of course, we got DeSantis dropping out and endorsing Trump finally. I guess that all needed to happen. With DeSantis. And technically it's a Trump victory. So if we didn't have this whole thing with the debates and stuff, there would have been no Trump victories, but we can claim those as victories, and that builds momentum. And I can understand the reason all that had to happen. I know we all got angry that they shouldn't even be running against Trump, but it got Trump into the headlines like 60, 70 times because of this. And eventually they're all backing out. And actually, Nikki Haley is exposing the wickedness of the Democratic Party. How can you be a Democrat knowing that they're funding Nikki Haley? Okay? I would imagine that's going to piss off a lot of Democrats that donated money there. They're like, wait. I'm a Democrat, and I donated $100 to this, political action committee, and they're giving it to Nikki Haley. I mean, how does that sit with those people, huh? Exposing every weakness, however carefully hidden. That's what's going on, patriots. Okay, and then I got some info on Mayorkas. He's the guy who's from Homeland Security. He's the guy who's in charge of our wonderful Do-Nothing Border Patrol, who is facilitating the invasion of our country. Oh, let me get rid of that one. And it turns out that one of our viewers found out that Mayorkas was involved with the Haiti relief program. Back when Haiti was in there after the earthquake and the hurricane hit Haiti, remember the Clinton Foundation started up. We were told if we want to help Haiti to send money to the Clinton Foundation and the Haiti relief program. And apparently Mayorkas was involved with that with Hillary. And we all know the corruption that happened down there that never got investigated or looked into or prosecuted. So, once again, more wickedness exposed, more of the two-tiered system of justice exposed. They all got rich off of it. I know $1 billion went to Haiti. And all they know is that $1 million worth of prototype village homes were built that were hurricane-proof and earthquake-proof, supposedly. That's the only proof of anything that we've seen of money that was donated to help Haiti out that was spent down there. And I don't know if it was 60 Minutes or what. There's documentaries all about this Haiti thing, but that was 10 years ago, the documentaries. I mean, Haiti was even longer than 10 years ago. Nobody got prosecuted. American charity, the charitable attitudes charitable Americans got ripped off once again down there in Haiti, and nobody got in trouble for it. So that's about it for tonight, Patriots. I'm going to try to wrap it up a little quicker than we did yesterday. I'm still thinking about this convoy. One thing I did not bring up last night about the convoy was that I was saying how that's a loosely organized group of people. There's no one guy in charge of this thing, and that they only have a couple of $1,000s donated to them right now. So we were wondering, what are they going to pay for and stuff. And they do have a priority. Like if truckers are involved, they're going to try to get them money for gas. If veterans are involved, they get, their priority to get money. But if they get too much money, okay, they have organizations with the veterans, and there was another organization that they said all excess money will go to them if the Americans start donating more than they could possibly want, which kind of happened at the People's Convoy. So they do have a plan that sounds like it's good. I don't think anyone's going to get ripped off, but who knows? I'm kind of naive with that, and I'm not a money guy. Okay, Tina's live streaming Vigil this Saturday, 27th, 2 to 4. Got it, Tina. Right on. We'll try to be there. 27th, so that's next Saturday. Okay. And then 2 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Good. That's a good time to come on. Nobody else is usually streaming then. And that would be good. So as regards to going down on this convoy, it's going to cost me quite a bit of money, and it's going to take up quite a bit of time. And my priority is securing this next election. So, and it would take me away from that for 2 weeks. So I'm kind of challenging myself to think, what could I get done in 2 weeks if I didn't go on this thing? And so that's the progression of my thought right now. So I'm still 50-50 still on going on this convoy. But we got Oreo Express is going to be live streaming it. We got Big D, Master Grifter's going to be live streaming it if he goes. And we got First Responders Media is going to be streaming it. So it's not like there's no streamers, and I was thinking jump in if there's no streamers. But if they're covering it, I don't see an urgency for me to go down there and do that. Where you been, small water guy? We've been talking about a convoy here for like 3 days. There's a convoy from Virginia Beach, and it starts on the 29th of January. From Virginia Beach, they're going to drive 10 hours to Jacksonville, Florida, and then 10 hours to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and then 8 hours to right around near Austin, Texas. And then there's a little rally there, and then they're going to drive into Eagle Pass, and I don't know what event is going to happen there. At the same time, they're coming from Austin down to Eagle Pass. Another group is going to leave from Austin and go to Las Cruces, New Mexico, and then the next day on to Yuma, Arizona. And then that same day, another group from California is going to drive from California to Yuma, Arizona. And then there will be a 5-hour rally in Yuma, Arizona. No plans on, like anything crazy like barricading the border at Eagle Pass or anything. But it's interesting to think that we got the National Guard there, we got the Border Patrol there, and now a convoy is going to be rolling it up on Eagle Pass. That's going to be very interesting. I would like to be there for that. But there is no plan on doing anything crazy there, okay? Just going there, checking it out. Virginia Beach to get your car. Okay, Jane, I was talking to somebody about this. But Jane, I'm leaning on, I'm kind of going in a direction of not going on this now because there's streamers going already. It's covered, and it's just too much of an investment in time and money. And time is short right now, okay? We got 10 months to this election. Somehow or another, we got to get every single electronic voting machine out of the polling places across the whole state of Pennsylvania. That is what I'm working on right now. And that's got to go down. In addition to that, there's this Amish farmer here named Amos Miller. I don't know if you guys ever heard this Amos Miller story or not yet, but he doesn't care about government licenses or anything like that. He started a food club, and he sells food to people who are in the club, but he has no USDA approvals on anything. He's giving it the middle finger. And federal government, he's been in lawsuits for years now. He paid off the federal government like $85,000, and they finally dropped the ball on him. They were like, all right, we're not going after him anymore. Then the Pennsylvania State Food and Drug whatever organization started going after him, and the state police raided his farm last week. So we got that issue going on here too. And those are back home issues, you know. I know I'm thoroughly entwined in J6 right now, and I'm not going to give up on J6. But in the meantime, I'm thinking there's a lot of people down on that border that should be down at the border fighting that battle while we're up here fighting our local battles. And Amos Miller, the Pennsylvania voting machine thing, that's all got to get hammered out, because if that election is still rigged, we're in trouble. Pennsylvania is one of the critical states from the 2020 election, and I know it was rigged here. There was all kinds of evidence of rigged stuff. Howard Richardson, the J6er, who's sitting in prison, 75 years old right now, saw pickup trucks of ballots showing up at his counting booth, at his counting center at 2 in the morning, and reported it to multiple different people. He reported it to his DA, to the voting board. They all ignored it, and then he got busted at J6, and they threw him in jail, man. Down in Philly, that's where they put the paper up on the windows. That was Philadelphia, where they did that. So we know Jesse Morgan, the truckload of ballots that came in down from New York. I mean, we know here in Pennsylvania that was a rigged election, and we as Pennsylvanians got to make sure that doesn't happen again. Pennsylvania was an embarrassment on the nation on that day during that election. And I think I can rally Pennsylvanians to make sure that we are not embarrassed like that again. It's corruption in high places here. So anyways, that's a lot to say that, man, the convoy just went down a couple notches for me, because there is fires at home that need to be put out in addition to staying involved with J6. Oh yeah, man, these Amish farmers are awesome here, Lovey Bugs. We got that Central Market. I filmed up there the other day. One day I'll get up there while it's open and we'll go inside. It's really cool. It's a 200 or 300-year-old building, and all the food in there is so good. And I do, during the summer when all the food stands are open along the side of the road, I know I'm not, there's no USDA involved with that. I'm eating a guy's produce that he grew right there on his farm, and I'm supporting a local farmer, and that guy's kids are going to go to school with my grandkids. That's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. All right, must be 6 o'clock. That's right, small water guy. We don't need the government, okay? It's like the American Disabilities Act. We don't need to make sure every restaurant can get a 3-foot wide wheelchair into it, okay? But what we need the government to set some credentials on what is required, what is needed for a handicapped person to get into a building, all right? And then if you want to comply, it should be voluntary, You should be able to stick the government ADA sticker on your front window if you meet all the requirements that they established are necessary for a handicapped person, okay? But what happened was when the ADA came out, there were people who had these cool restaurants in these old buildings, and they could not comply with the doorway openings and the stair steepness and the tread depth and height and all that stuff. So they couldn't have a restaurant in these beautiful buildings around here anymore. It's tyranny. That's what tyranny is. When you make everybody comply to something that's kind of not crucial, you know. And the same with like smoking. You can't even open a restaurant and allow smoking in it if you want. Even if you're like a smoker, you want to have a smoker restaurant, you can't even do that. So the same with the USDA. I mean, the USDA should set guidelines on what they feel is safe food production or safe milk production or meat production, right? And you can go to the store that has the safe meat production sticker in the window, or you could go to the neighbor who has some extra eggs, you know. Technically, you're not really allowed to sell food without the USDA approval on it. And that's tyranny. And that's what exactly we're fighting about, man. Ava, the Amish market. It's not an Amish market here. There is Amish markets. It's called Green Dragon and Roots Market. That is out near East Petersburg, Pennsylvania. And that is mostly Amish. I mean, they're not like exclusively Amish though, but they are markets that are open one day a week. But there's non-Amish people there. The one downtown here is called Central Market in Lancaster. And that's the one in the old building. It's a beautiful building, and it's more gourmet with the people there. But there are like Amish meats and stuff in there. But they get top dollar for stuff in that market because there is so many restaurants that shop in there. Most of the the Amish markets, I'll just stop and they'll have a stand out at the end of their driveway. That's the ones I like hitting. And you get the strawberries when the strawberries start coming in, and then the tomatoes start coming in, and then pumpkins in the fall. That's the ones I really like. And just talking to the people that run those farms that are right down the road from me. That's really getting to know your neighbor. Lovey Bugs, I think this Amos Miller guy kind of went big time with it when most of the other farmers have not done that. They've sold locally. Amos Miller is actually shipping food to Michigan, to food buyer clubs in Michigan, and he'll ship his food across state lines, and that's when it became a federal problem. And Pennsylvania's excuse as to why they're going after him now was that Amos Miller is kind of embarrassing the state of Pennsylvania's food regulations and stuff. So kind of it's not really clear why they're going after him other than to save face. And they're all looking to get positions in the federal government after they're done with their positions in the state government food departments here. That's my take on it. But they've been accusing them that this person died from listeria in the milk. He sells raw milk, unpasteurized milk. And it's been proven that this person did not die from milk that Amos Miller sold him, but they continually throw that in every article that they write about him here in the local paper, the local garbage paper, LNP. Yeah, Ridgeline, there's the old order Amish, there's the regular Amish, then there's the Mennonites, and then there's the Mennonites with cars, but they'll drive cars, but they don't have any chrome on the cars, and it's a trip, man. There's varying levels of strictness with the Amish and the Mennonites, man. I'd trust the Amish food before anything, too, man. They've been growing food all their lives. They're eating the same food that they're selling us. And they're awesome, man. I mean, there's one Amish farm that she makes pies, and every Friday night you can go get a pie right at their house. You call her up, you talk to her one week and say, yeah, I'll be by. Can you make me a cherry pie for next week? And she'll make sure she just sets an extra cherry pie aside for you. There's also Amish workers and stuff, man. They fix furniture. They're incredibly industrious people. And they get a bad rap sometimes. There's some lame things about them too, but I mean, nobody's perfect. But they keep to themselves. They want to keep to themselves, but they grow excellent food. And some of them are using like some of the newer techniques that aren't exactly cool, but a lot of them don't. Some of them are not even growing food because the government will pay them to not grow food. You know, I mean, there's farms like that around here too. Unpasteurized milk is so good, man. It is so much better. I don't know if you've ever had it. But it sells for quite a bit more here. I'm thinking like a quart of unpasteurized milk is about $2.50. But they use renewable bottles. You know, you get it in a glass bottle. If you go into the farm store here and you want to get a half gallon of unpasteurized milk, it comes in a big, thick glass bottle. And then you have to pay a deposit, like a $3 or $4 deposit on the bottle. But then when you bring the bottle back, you don't got to pay the deposit like it used to be. Remember? Milk used to come in big glass gallon jugs, you know? Yeah, they work on the furniture, replacing the cane in your chairs, right? Sunkist. The ultimate electric car. A horse. Oh, that's a good one, Deb. Or Tina. We all live a lot happier. All right, so I kind of got into this the other day. If they come out with this digital currency, are you guys going to play the game? You know, I'm thinking we just go back to living in villages, buying stuff from the neighbor. One guy makes clothes. You know, one family makes clothing. One family builds houses. One family builds furniture. One family builds the food or grows the food, and we just barter everything. You know, get rid of money altogether. And show them World Economic Forum fools what we think of them. You know. They could do anything. They've been doing everything, and they've survived until now. And actually, they don't got a lot of headaches that we have, like cars and car insurance, and they don't buy gas. You know, they don't have to pay gasoline here. Pennsylvania's got the highest gasoline tax in the country. It's like 55 cents a gallon, I think. Or that's what it was 5 years ago when I paid attention to it. It's probably more than that now. Tupperware. And that's right. They didn't go to Sears and buy it. They bought it from you, Ridgeline. Cash only. That's right. And bartering. Yeah, man. So that's about what we got for the evening here. And I do love the Amish, and they are awesome people. My grandkids got a little bit of Amish in them, you know, from a couple generations back, which is kind of cool, and it shows. Hello, Arrakis. How are you? Welcome, man. Welcome. Oh, really? They use the Tupperware because it seals tightly, and they can store items in the streams to keep stuff cold, right? And they do canning. I mean, you know, they do everything, man. Yeah, I remember the gas shortage lines from the 70s. I remember when they were rationing gas, and you couldn't even get gas every day. You had to go even number or odd number on your license plate every other day. And what a manufactured problem that was, wasn't it? My kids are not Amish, Susie Q. My son's children are his gal, her father was Amish when he was very young. So my grandkid's other grandpa is like a quarter Amish. And they have a real Amish last name. So but he came, my grandkid's other grandpa came from an Amish family, yeah. But he didn't really grow up Amish for very long. They quit. Amish come out to the farm I work at to buy potato seed. The men didn't like talking to me, female. It's in their culture, right? I put their order together ahead of time because they would get word to us, yes. They're very organized. I have friends that work with Amish people with different businesses that they have. They have all kinds of businesses. They have like concrete businesses. They just do regular concrete work and stuff. They're very hard workers. My mom had a quilting shop here. She was a quilter. And her partner was a Mennonite guy who sold Bernina sewing machines. And we would go and do quilt shows. And I worked with his kids. And I'm telling you, man, I was fit, you know, back when I was 25, 30 years old. And I would work on unloading trucks with these like 11 and 12-year-old kids who would work me into the ground, man. I would just try to keep up with them, box for box, you know, loading and unloading. And I could not keep up with these young Amish kids. They're incredibly hard workers, man. And they're all healthy. I mean, you never see like a really out of shape Amish person. And that makes them beautiful, I think. You know, they're just a beautiful people. Just another aspect of this beautiful country that we live in here. And they're very strict about the man-woman thing, and you know, and I can understand that. You can see the ones that are courting; they won't even let them ride together in a covered buggy. They're out on the streets all the time. Try driving anywhere at Sunday afternoon or night around here. Be careful, because there's buggies everywhere. It's a cool thing. When we lived in Chicago and first moved out here, I mean, that was wild. We didn't know what was going on. What are all these buggies, man? Oh yeah, you had a dining room table and a hutch made by the Amish in Lancaster. Also their pergola. Yes, they're awesome woodworkers. Awesome woodworkers. They do get touchy about taking their pictures, yes. But I do notice a lot of them, they didn't used to have telephones, all right? They would not have a telephone in their house because technically the rule was that you would have to run a wire from the English world to their home. And their homes were to be separated from the English. That's what they call the other people in America, the English. So they would, the ones that kind of were bending the rules a little would put a phone at the end of their driveway and a little cubby hole that the phone was in so that they could have phone for emergency purposes, I would think. I do notice that the Amish are freely using cell phones now because there is no wire attached to them, which is interesting. Or they would go to the neighbors and use them. Tina, do you see them using cell phones out there, though? They are around here. The ones at the farmers markets are using cell phones, but they're like in business and stuff. Maybe they can use them for business, but not for personal calls. I'm not sure on the rules there. And it ain't like you can walk into an Amish church and go, hey, can I ask you some questions? Was he really? Vern was raised Amish. I didn't know that about him. Yeah, I know Vern. They're involved in politics now, Tammy. Yeah, they used to avoid that. they're awesome, man. And I'll tell you, man, they don't have engines, you know, they don't do tractors, but it's incredible to watch them work a field with these, with, you know, 4 gigantic Belgian horses pulling a huge piece of farm equipment behind it. And then there's other people that their job is to just drive them around, man. I noticed a lot of older guys like my age, you can get a job just driving these Amish roofing crews around, okay? They need to tow in a big trailer to fix roofs and stuff, to scrape the old roofs off into. And you can get a pretty decent paying job just driving these guys around at our job sites. So they've worked it out, you know? Here's the things that they believe in, and they made a spot for themselves, and it's a pretty cool thing. Pretty cool thing. All right, Patriots, I'm glad we got to see this before the sun went down, because it is pretty up here. And it's Sunday, there's not a lot of traffic out today. So I'm going to shut her down. I'm going to wrap it up, go home, get some food. And I'll see you all there at the Freedom Corner. Another frigid night in D.C. Standing up for freedom, standing up for our constitutional rights. And watch our Freedom Corner warriors bundle down and get her done tonight. Glory to God, man. Glory to God. All right, Patriots, I love you all. This is Jericho, over and out.